right, the champ is here, loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. I'll do that again. The champ is here, loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. I'd like to send a special shout out to all of those historians that are over in Fort Worth, Texas. As you know, this radio show is the best radio show from Como to the Congo, and now you know. But those Alliance for Texas Historians met yesterday, and I, along with the smartest Dr. Gray in my family, which is Dr. Janelle Gray, and along with Dr. Michael Phillips and Bessie Freoff, we did a presentation for the Alliance for Texas Historians. So shout out to all those people there. Hey, we turned it up, turned it out, and you know what we do. That's what we do. But I'm spending a lot of time over in Tarrant County, a lot of time in Tarrant County, and then spending that time in Tarrant County, I've run across old friends, and I brought up an old friend today. I'd like to have him introduce himself.
Hey, y'all, I'm Dr. Jason Shelton, professor at UT Arlington. Been there for 18 years, but I'm here today because I'm running for Arlington City Council, y'all. I'm in a runoff for District 8. That's across the entire city of Arlington, Texas. Early voting starts this coming Monday, goes from June 1st to the 9th, and Election Day is June 13th. I appreciate you inviting me to be here today, sir. Thank
you. I appreciate you coming on. This is going to be a fast-paced time. I'm looking at my phone right now. We want you people to do this. This is very important. We want you to share it in all of the groups that you're part of.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to do that as well. So I want you to go ahead and share it. That's the only way that a lot of people get their news is if they go to, guess what? Facebook. And sometimes on Facebook, where you could be iced out, and that's iced out is not a good thing. But if we can go ahead and beat them at that, we can go ahead and share it. So that's the reason why we're here.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Shelton.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been a long time, man.
It has been, Fred. It has been. Good seeing you, though.
Good seeing you, too.
Yes, sir.
Good seeing
yes,
you.
Sir.
Tell me what you're doing, man. I see the signs behind us.
Yeah. For the last 5 years, I chaired the Arlington Unity Council, which was our city's diversity task force. Got a phone call some years ago from Dr. Barbara Odom Wesley, who serves currently on city council. And she said, this was after the murder of George Floyd, and she said, hey, Arlington is putting together a racial equity task force. We want you to be on it. And I said, yes, no problem. What an honor to serve, right? Every professor wants to make an impact beyond the classroom. But then she said in the next breath, hey, we don't want you to just be on it. We want you to chair it. And that's a tremendous honor. And so for 5 years, I chaired the Arlington Unity Council, and we had recommendations related to a whole bunch of things, from economic development to transportation to housing to the Arlington Police Department to a whole host of things. And some of those things were about diversity. Some of them had nothing to do with diversity. But in the end, I chaired it for 5 years, and then Barbara called me again and said, hey, you're term limited as chair of the Unity Council. I'm term limited as a member of City Council. What happens after the term limit is up? And I said, I guess I'm going back to the sociology department. And she said, no, it's time for you to run. She said, I want you to run for my seat. And so that's why I'm here today. Been running for this seat, and it's going great, brother. It's going really, really great. We're in a runoff right now.
You're in a runoff?
We're in a runoff, and so it's down to 2 of us, and I'm just here today to keep spreading the word. I'm a rookie in this game, and if you give me 1 more month to keep spreading my message, I'm going to utilize it.
Well, that's why I wanted you to come on the show, because
yes, sir.
I ran for office before in Arlington as well, and man, I just wish you had came to me earlier, man. But you already found out the things that I found out earlier. What has been the biggest takeaway you've had in running for office?
Man, there's a whole lot that I could tell you, bro. I think the biggest takeaway is that when you're running citywide, it takes and Arlington is a city of 400,000 people now.
Right.
We got serious with block walking and doing a whole lot of stuff in March, but even that's not enough time. If you're going to run for Arlington City Council, you got to get busy come February. You got to get busy come January. Like, making phone calls, raising money, all of these things that it takes. It's much more comprehensive than I ever thought it was. And again, I'm running citywide. I live in District 2.
In District 2, where's District 2?
District 2 is south
District 2?
of, if you were looking at a map of the city of Arlington, District 2 is south of I-20.
Okay.
And that's where I live. But I'm running across the whole city. So, and that's what Barbara's position has been. And that's where she's a great help, among other people are great helps for me citywide. But good Lord, the effort that it takes. That's why I say, in a lot of ways, it's a blessing to have another month, because it allows me another month to stretch my wings even farther. And so that's what we're in the process of doing, and just continuing to reach out. And so that's why I'm glad to be here, among other places, in this last few weeks of the election, sir.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, you have Arlington for All, Dr. Jason Shelton, and District 8 is
Across the whole city,
across the whole.
all of the city.
And I'm looking at the endorsements: Junior Inziono, Representative Chris Turner, Dr. Barbara Odom Wesley,
Yep.
the AFL-CIO,
Yep,
the Arlington Impact,
yep,
Informed Tarrant Voters,
Yep.
Tarrant County Democratic Party.
yep.
The Tarrant County Democratic Party endorsed in an
And
election.
I'm told that they haven't done this ever before to get involved in a local election. But yes, they have got involved, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm gonna tell you another misconception that people say that this is a nonpartisan race. Good Lord, it's highly partisan. It's one of the big things that I learned in this. And you realize, wow, okay, you got to step out. You got to let people know that's spreading your wings. So yeah, I did reach out to the Democratic Party in Tarrant County. They told me they don't get involved in municipal elections. I said, okay, well, at least I tried. And then they said, hey, we're going to help you out. At least let the world know that you're a Democrat.
So did you also ask the Republican Party as well?
No, I did not do that.
You didn't
sir.
do that?
No, I did not do that, sir. I did not do that, sir.
Well, okay. Okay. So much for, everything being equal then, right?
Yeah, well,
okay.
in the end,
Yeah,
when people
some
knew,
things are equal, but some are more. It's like,
but in the end, people knew what my party affiliation has been. Right. And that was one of the things I learned early on. There was somebody 2 years ago when I first decided to run. Someone came up to me and said, Jason, you're a really nice guy. You're a professor at UTA. You're a really smart guy. I like you a lot. But I can never vote for you because you're probably a Democrat because you're an academic. And I thought, wow, like you're already disqualifying me. And I haven't even done anything yet. This is 2 years ago. And I realized then, gosh, this is okay. This is part of how partisan it is. But then you realize even more as you get closer and deeper into the race. It's like, oh, wow, okay. And everybody knew my opponents were Republicans. So it's like, okay, what do I have to do to close this gap? And that's where you realize that's one of those things you got to do. Spread your wings in multiple ways.
so your opponent is a Republican, and is your opponent running as a Republican?
I'm not going to get into all of that. I don't know how she's running. I know how I'm running. I'm running as a person.
What's her name?
Melody Fowler.
I've also heard her nickname was MAGA Melanie Fowler. Of course, you didn't say that. I said that.
I don't know nothing about that.
No, you don't. No. You can
nothing
deny it, but I'm just saying that's what I've heard. My research. I've done research as well. But that being said, you don't have to deal with that. But Arlington Black Chamber of Commerce
Yes.
and the 23rd Senatorial Tejano Democrats
Yes.
and the Tarrant County Young Democrats. You're running.
Those young people did great work for me, going door to door for me, block walking.
You're running straight as a Democrat.
I'm not going to say I'm running straight as, but the world needs to know.
That sounds
World
pretty
needs
good
to
on
know.
that. Sounds
World
pretty
needs to
good
know.
on that.
If I was going to get disqualified by somebody because I am,
Then you might as well embrace it.
Let people know.
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Embracing it, what would you do if you were elected to the city council?
Wow, that's a great question, sir. I mean, there are a lot of things Arlington is a large city. Here's what I have said. Partisan politics aside, the reality of it is Arlington is now one of the 50 largest cities in the United States of America, and we have a lot of challenges that are in front of us. One of those things that I think, first and foremost, we've got to keep our economic development thriving. Yes, I'm a professor at the university, and I study religion and politics and write books on that stuff. But the real reality of American life is making it to the middle class. You got to have economic development so that more and more people are able to get on their feet and live comfortable lives, and they can feel that their future for their family, their children, is intact. That's closely connected to housing. We live at a time in Arlington where here we are at the university where we are developing a workforce. And these young people we are creating the workforce of the future, but they can't afford to live in the city. So there's some big challenges here, not only related to that. We got a growing homelessness problem in Arlington. The percentage of homeless people has doubled in the city over the last few years. That's a major problem. Arlington for so many years has acted like we are a suburb. We are not a suburb. We are a large city with big city problems. Another one is transportation. We have got to figure out how to get people from door to door. No, we don't have buses, and I think that's a good thing. I grew up in LA when we had buses in LA. I don't want that here for Arlington. But we do have a program called Arlington On Demand. We need to expand that out there. I don't have to get in all those details now unless you want to. But the reality of it is that these are some of the things that I want to work on as a member of Arlington City Council. We got to address housing. We got to address the homelessness issue. We got to address economic development, among other things, as we are transitioning to that big city life as a big city here in Texas.
How would you address the unhoused? Let's move your mic a little closer.
A little closer.
Yeah.
That's a tough issue. As I understand it, Arlington is one of the few large cities, particularly not just here in Texas, but definitely here in Texas, but one of the few large cities that does not have a line item in our budget to address homelessness. Right now, what we do is we rely on the goodwill of good people, like many people, like myself, who give to Mission Arlington and who give to other outlets like the Life Shelter, but those places are maxed out. So we need to do more to help those institutions who are serving the homeless and unhoused. That's where I think our city needs to begin to make some real progress in there to help those institutions that are directly addressing the homeless. We can do more there.
You mentioned transportation. What about transportation? How do we serve that?
Well, so we have Arlington On Demand. And I think it's a great modern day program. It addresses the issue. Arlington is the largest city in the country that doesn't have mass public transportation, right? Now, Arlington On Demand is not mass transit. But what it does do is it gets people from here to there. But what it does not do is get you door to door, right? So my students at the university get dropped off a few blocks away. They got to walk up. That's a problem, right? Imagine if it's raining outside. Imagine if you just left the grocery store. Imagine if you got kids with you on a hot Texas summer day. You get dropped off here and you got to walk all the way over there to get to your final destination. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. It also doesn't operate on Sundays. In modern day America, you got to allow people to get from door to door. That doesn't help small business. We can do more to support a whole lot of institutions, businesses, organizations in the city if we can enhance transportation. We've also got to think about other issues related to, good Lord, the trains that come through, Cooper. You can be sitting there on Cooper. I got to rush to City Hall and I get stuck behind a train on Cooper for 15 minutes. How come we can't have a bridge that gets over that? There are a whole host of different things that we need to address in the long arc of the development of our city.
Now, you mentioned transportation. Transportation is very, when I was running for office in Arlington, that was one of the things that I said as well. And you're still saying it 30 years later. So
yes.
We're the largest
Yes.
city in the United States without any mass transportation.
Yes.
But we haven't done anything since I was there.
But I think there's movement for it now, though. So again, as now,
one way I would say the micro system that you have of transportation.
Yes, we got that. But I also think that there's a groundswell of support for more than that today. So, for example, as the former chair of the Unity Council, the last report that we did. We did focus groups with the Mayor's Advisory Council, Mayor Ross's advisory councils, and he has something like 15 or 16 different advisory councils, a Black Advisory Council, Asian Advisory Council, Women's Advisory Council, et cetera, et cetera. And we did these focus groups, and we asked them to rank what they believe were the top issues here facing the city of Arlington. And different focus groups and different advisory groups had a different list. But what was most consistent across them was transportation. And so I think that in Arlington today, in 2026, there's a growing number of people. There are more people now who will say we need to do more for transportation than there was, 30 years ago or 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. There are more people that are moving towards that consensus because, again, you see that across all this broad range of different advisory groups saying, ranking transportation as a major issue.
Now, with transportation, many of the people in Arlington, just being frankly with you, that are conservative, they say with mass transportation comes crime.
Yes.
Can you address that?
Well, I'm not a criminologist, sir, so I really can't get into the depth of all of that. What I do know is that you do need to move people, especially in the entertainment district, though. I mean, you're going to have the Dallas Cowboys there. We've got the Texas Rangers there. There's a possibility of having the hockey team, the Stars there.
I saw, the mayor came on the show and said that.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot.
It caught me by surprise. You gonna catch me by surprise with something that you want to do?
Well, I want to be able to move people in and out easy of the entertainment district. I think mass transportation for that is a great thing.
I sure wish we could have that next month.
Oh, man, that'd be fabulous for FIFA, right? You got gazillions of people that are coming here, and
Folks, that don't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. And so we do need to think about, and we're going to pass Chicago as the third largest metropolitan area in the country. Right.
We're fourth right now.
We're fourth now. We're going to pass Chicago. That means we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That means there are more and more people that are coming. How do we move these people? That's a critical thing. I think in the long arc, what Arlington does need to do, and it's not just Arlington, but a great number of places, the future is the idea that, we do use more subways. We do have more light rail. We do have more. Now, it's expensive, and it ain't going to be happening tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. But we got to think that way. In Los Angeles for the Olympics next summer, they are, or 2 summers from now, they are already putting in a subway system that goes from downtown LA to UCLA. And they're just doing this within a few short years because they need to move millions of people quickly underground from here to there. That's really important. And if they can do that so quickly, they had the political will, the economic will to do this, we can figure this out too. The question is, what is our will and what is our desire? And if we don't figure this out, we're going to have a bigger problem down the road than we have now.
Bigger problem down the road. We're getting ready to go to our break, but let's go ahead with one more question before we go to the break. And this is a very simple question regarding your endorsements that you had. Looking at those endorsements, you received quite a few endorsements in such a short period of time.
I did, and those are not all of our endorsements. Please go to the website, Shelton for Arlington, and you can see the full and exhaustive list. Yes, I do have Republicans who endorse me. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I do have independents who endorse me. Again, it's a nonpartisan race, but they are there. But for sure, I've got a broad range of support of folks who are behind me, folks who are leaders in the community, folks who are everyday people in the community. So yes, sir, for sure.
Right. We're going to play a couple of quick drops, and then when we come back, we will conclude our interview with Dr. Jason Shelton, who's running for Arlington for All, and that is District 8,
across
where it's
the
really
entire
great,
city of Arlington.
across the whole city. Be right back.
This is attorney Kim T. Cole of K. Cole Law PLLC. When I'm not fighting for civil rights and social justice, I keep it locked to Ed Gray on the Commish Radio Show.
Hey, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's, located at 107 North Cedar Ridge in Duncanville, Texas. They're really hot, just like the Commish Radio Show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We will see you later at Thibodeau's.
Hello out there. My name is Byron Williams, former NFL player. I'm with the NFL Players Association, and when I'm not in the community, I'm listening to Mr. Ed Gray, the commish.
Bet. All right. Okay, I'm trying to find all of the information we have here on Dr. Shelton, but one of the things I wanted to just go ahead and say that from your UTA, how long you been at UTA?
I've been at UTA for 18 years, faculty in the sociology department. That's my main job, but I'm also director of the Center for African American Studies.
So you took the place of, who'd you take place of?
So I'm sure you must be thinking about Dr. Marvin Delaney. Right, frat brother, legend in DFW.
Yeah.
So Marvin helped write the proposal for the Center for African American Studies 15 years ago. And there was a director that took over, a permanent director. He never was the director, but for 1 year after the first permanent director left, he was the interim director for 1 year, and then I was hired. And that's where, so Marvin wrote the proposal, but he was only the director for 1 year. But he's always overseas.
It don't really matter if you found it.
Oh, yeah, he founded it. He's a founder for sure. But I'd like to collect so when people say, did you take over after Marvin? The answer is yes. But the bigger thing is that he's really the founder. He's the guy who wrote that proposal.
That's true. That's true. It's like Dr. Dre said once. He said, "This the thanks I get?"
Yeah. Oh, Marvin's the man. I always call Marvin. I call Marvin to have him back at the university all the time.
Now, he's also the founding member of Asala as well.
Yes, for
so
sure.
he's founded two organizations as well.
Marvin is tremendous, man. And I look at him as a mentor and call him for advice, talk to him about running this race. He supported me, put some money on the campaign. Marvin's a great guy.
Put money on the campaign?
Yes.
Now, how can we do that? How can that be done?
Oh, that's great. And definitely need to raise more money, have a plan to finish this race. What I need for folks is to go to sheltonforarlington.com, and in that top right corner, you can click endorsements, and you can learn more about some of those names that are there. And you can also click a button up there that says donate.
Donate.
And we do need you to donate, and we'll take everything from $5 to $500, all right? And I'm getting all of that, and I appreciate all of that, the wide range. There are people who are giving us their last $20, and I'm very thankful for that. There are people who also have given a whole lot more to that, and I'm very appreciative of that too. We need all of it to make this win happen.
And some people have given their last $2.
This is very true, sir. This is very true.
$2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You getting any sleep?
Ironically, I'm getting more sleep than I thought I was gonna get.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm an adventurous spirit, man. I'm a full professor at the university. I'm gonna still keep writing books and writing research articles, but I also want to see what else is around the corner. What is possible for me? I got 2 daughters. My wife and I teach our daughters to figure out what's possible for them. The world opens up, and you got to go for it. And so, yeah, I'm getting sleep. I'm resting, but I'm challenging myself too. I'm 50 years old. I want to see what else is out there.
How you challenging yourself?
I'm challenging myself by running for office. I'm challenging myself by pushing forward. I'm challenging myself by trying to figure out what am I really capable of. Yeah, I'm a full professor, but that's not all. That's not all I can.
So you're there every day?
I'm there every day. Man, 24 hours a day. It's funny. I mean, running for office is a 24 hours a day job.
True.
It is 24 hours a day, and you would get it in the sense that, like, yes, I work for UTA, and I'm doing my part, doing everything I have to do for UTA, but as soon as I finish that, everything else becomes about what do I have to do for winning this race. It's very complicated. It's a whole lot, but I'm maintaining my health and wellness. I still get up at 5 a.m. and I work out every day. I'm not going to let running for office dramatically change my everyday life. I'm going to maintain that I'm still a dad. My daughter is sitting over here. I'm still a husband. I'm going to still make sure that everything needs to be done. But yeah, this is the challenge. This is the biggest challenge of my life at this point. My wife and I sit around and talk about, and we both have great accomplished careers, but this is harder than anything we've done.
Now, why is that?
Because it's 24 hours a day. I ain't asked nobody for money since I left my mom's house.
Now,
you can't run for office and not ask people for money.
When I was running for office, just bring the mic just a little closer. When I was running for office, Brother Odom, Deacon Odom, as I called him, because we attended Mount Olive Baptist Church, and he said, Gray, he said, you're going to have to forget everything your mother told you when you're running for office. He said, I'm sure your mother told you not to brag on yourself.
Yeah.
And she's probably told you not to beg for no money. Now, when you're running for office, you're going to have to do both of those things.
Yeah. You got to be subtle with how you do it. So I'm gonna promote my book.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, I'm gonna do. Yeah, there we go, right there. We'll have me on another day to talk.
Oh
more
yes,
about that.
absolutely. Got a book.
But yeah, I'm gonna promote those things. I'm gonna promote my ideas. I'm gonna promote that I'm on Ed Gray's show. I'm gonna promote that I was on Junior Izanu's show. I'm gonna promote that I'm gonna be speaking here and speaking there and everywhere. I'm gonna promote these things, but I'm gonna be subtle with how I do it. I ain't gonna be all up in your face. But yes, you have to do those things, and you have to ask people for money, because good Lord, you ain't gonna win by spending your own money. You gotta get other people in the mix. You gotta get support. You have to prove to them that you're a worthy candidate. So yeah, there's a lot that, Mama's lessons are always right, but there are some things you gotta revise and resubmit and remix along the way to figure out how to do it.
Sound like you're writing a dissertation.
Oh man, I'm gonna write a heck of a book when this is all said and done. I'm gonna write a heck of a book. I've always written on politics, whether it's the growth of the African American middle class and the politics.
How many
of
books have you
affirmative action.
written?
I've written 2 books, but I've written a bunch of different journal articles. And so I write on the growth of the black middle class, and then I write on religion and politics. And so those are themes in there that I will go back to, and I'm going to, at some point, write a personal story about what all of this is and this journey that I'm on, particularly in terms of running for office. It's pretty much eye-opening.
Okay, let me ask you a question about Arlington politics and build out and growth.
Yeah.
We are now at a percentage-wise where Arlington is almost built out.
Built out, yes, sir.
And build out, for people that are listening in, build out is like basically, do you ever see any open land out there that you can actually build something on? Well, that's called build out. You have no land, and that's when you start talking about urban renewal. So let's go with build out. Where are we at on that?
I think Arlington is a city that, as you say, we don't have much land left, right? We're pretty much a landlocked city. So what does that mean? That means we have to be more comfortable with going up, and we have to be more comfortable with knocking down. Like, there's some old buildings, there's some old things that need to go. We need to get ready for new, and we got to be ready to go up in certain places. Some of these young people at the university, to go back to them, not only can they not afford to live in Arlington right now, a lot of these young people don't want to live in a house with 4 bedrooms and a pool and a dog named Spot and a white picket fence out front. That's that suburban life that Arlington was set up for, decades ago. What a lot of these young people want are smaller houses. They want to be able to walk to the coffee shop and the grocery store and the restaurant. I got a nephew that doesn't really like to drive. These young people they don't live a same traditional lifestyle that you and I grew up with. They're seeing a different world where they want to be more transient. They don't want the deeper roots right now. They want that kind of stuff later. They're delaying marriage. They're delaying a whole host of having kids. They're looking for a different experience in those 20s and 30s than a lot of us had as 50-somethings. And so that's where our city needs to think about how do we fit those young people in? So when I say going up, they want to live in high quality apartments and townhomes and condominiums. They don't necessarily want to be cutting the lawn, and so this is the way we got to think. So I think that as we use the land in Arlington, we need to be more strategic about housing. We need to be more strategic about the transportation. We need to think about, in the long run, if these young families can't afford the house, with the 4 bedrooms, how do we get them into building a portfolio for home ownership? How do we get them in the door for establishing wealth? How do we get their feet on the ground socioeconomically in Arlington? That's one of the advantages that my wife and I had. We got here in 2008 when the market was at the bottom, a historic low. We bought a house that was a foreclosure, and we were able to get ahead. But Texas, even then, before 2008 bottomed out, with 2006, 2005, it was still, you could still afford to live here before the bottom fell out. That's not the same. That's not the case anymore. What do we do where we can make sure that these young families can get on their feet, can build a home, can establish wealth, all those kinds of things? That's what Arlington needs. You need that base of families to be able to get on their feet, to call this place home so that their kids want to be here, and then you can really have that long sense of establishing families, sets of families who want to be here for the future.
Now, I have a question regarding data centers.
Yes, data centers, okay.
The data center question is, and I'm just comparing this to other cities, municipalities, they are now discussing, or rather the people, citizens in those respective areas, such as Red Oak. It was on the news a couple weeks back that the people didn't want the data centers, but the city officials obviously wanted the data
Now you
centers.
got me on data centers.
Because
what
the
are we talking about?
the data centers, they use up a lot of water.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's one of those issues I got to look a whole lot more into. You know more on that one than me. That's not something that's come up a whole lot on the campaign trail. So I have to.
Well, if it hasn't come up on the campaign trail, it's not relevant.
I don't think
in
it's
Arlington.
relevant to Arlington that same way. That's not come up at all in Arlington. Yes, sir.
Okay, fracking.
Oh yeah.
Okay, is
That's
that
a big one.
still an issue?
That's a big issue in Arlington.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about that, and tell the folks what fracking
Oh
is.
yeah, fracking is essentially the idea that we're essentially going into the earth and we're pulling out these natural resources and all these things, but we're doing this drilling, but we're doing it too close to houses. And a lot of folks are getting very upset about that in Arlington. There are, particular districts in the city more likely to have a fracking problem in certain areas rather than others. And there's not only that, you're also seeing it where, like I say, there are issues where you got these drills and these wells that are, I can't remember that technical term, but there's essentially a area where you're not supposed to be closer than 600 feet. But some people say you can encroach on that 600 feet. What is the hard line for what that distance is from a home or to a school? And a lot of people say in Arlington they're getting too close to that. In Dallas, there's more of a hard line for that. And so the point here is that this is a hot button issue in Arlington, most certainly so. And it's come up a lot on the campaign trail. Yes, sir. I'm one of these people that believes it should not be close to homes. I believe it should not be close to schools. We need to make sure that the air is healthy. There's research that says that some of this stuff is connected to cancer. And there's some good science on that. I'm a nerdy professor. If the good science is saying that that's the case, then hey, we need to make sure that the quality of life for people is there. We want people to make their money. We want people to have some good quality housing, but we want to make sure that people have the health and wellness to have the good quality housing so that they can enjoy their lives there and not feel like they're getting sick and diseased from the investment that they're going to make to build their family.
Housing, affordable housing. Do we have any in Arlington?
We got to have more.
And what's the definition of affordable?
Yeah, that's a sliding scale,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
That's
what's the
definitely. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I haven't. What I am going to say is that too many families in Arlington don't have it. Don't have that housing that is affordable, and that's where we've got to. But there's also a question of quality housing too, right? We've got some apartments that probably need to be knocked down. We've got some old places where people are making money on people, on low-income people who are doing their best to get up and go to work and contribute to our city. But the issue of affordable housing is definitely one, but I'm gonna also say quality housing too. You can't have people that are living in substandard housing and apartments in the city, and it's too much of that is happening.
Wouldn't there be a pushback though if you knock down some housing? Where would the people go at?
Well, we can knock down, and we got to figure out again. You're right. There's some complicated issues in there, but we do need quality and we do need affordable. We got to find somewhere in there where we can make that work. But again, I'm not going to sit up here and say I got all these answers to these things, But I definitely have a perspective that says we need to think about these things as we move forward, and making sure, particularly for low-income families and middle-income families, that there are opportunities for housing for these people and quality housing for these people to move forward in the future.
Now, the city council, how many people serve on city council?
Nine, including the mayor.
Including the mayor. Explain the makeup of that.
So Arlington has, if you were looking at a map of Arlington, there are 5 districts: District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, and District 5 that represent specific areas of the city. 6, 7, and 8 are at large across the city. Remember, I'm running for 8. And so 1 through 5 represent a map of Arlington, all of the city, from North Arlington to West Arlington to South Arlington to East Arlington and Southeast Arlington. But again, those 3 other are at large across the entire city. And of course, the mayor.
Including the mayor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there term limits in that?
Yes, 3 years now is Arlington. You can do 3 terms for 3 years. And that's what it is now for Arlington. Yes, sir. And Barbara's term limited now. She's at the end. And so when I win this race, then I take over her seat in District 8 because she's term limited.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have her endorsement, obviously.
I do. And
As
she's
you
on
said
my
there
card.
earlier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let's talk about FIFA, the World Cup.
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
I'm not going to be able to afford to go.
Wait, man,
them
come
tickets
on,
too
man.
expensive, bruh. Them tickets way too expensive.
Really?
To go. Yeah, man. I'm told the tickets are like $800 a seat.
$800
I'm
a
told,
seat?
yeah, to sit up high. I can't go to that. Is the city ready, though? I think the city's ready. I think there are going to be some challenges along the way. We had talked about mass transportation in the entertainment district. They're going to do something where cars can't be driven in so easily. You're going to have to drive in, park, and then put on a bus to get into the stadium. I think that's a good idea. You're going to have too many cars. Good Lord. But I do think the city's ready. It's not to say that there are not going to be some challenges that need to be worked out. They'll figure it out along the way. Because I honestly think that once you get FIFA, what else do you get after that? The big event after that is the Olympics, right? You got to think bigger, right? You got to think about, you don't just get the World Cup. What are you setting up for, right? Keep going bigger. Like I say, I'm trying to figure out what's next for me. What else is out there? You don't do FIFA and stop. You do FIFA, you have mistakes, you figure it out so you can figure out what's the next big thing that you bring. And I think the city will figure it all out.
Figuring it all out once we get past FIFA. And
yes.
It'll be at Dallas Stadium, I understand.
Yeah.
That's what I told
Yeah, we're going to
Mayor
fix
Ross.
that, too.
It
It need to be
Dallas
Arlington.
Stadium. Not Arlington
Yeah,
Stadium.
not Arlington
Not
Stadium.
Cowboys Stadium. Dallas
Yeah,
Stadium.
Yeah, we got to fix that.
I use that as a way when he was here. You was seated just where you're at.
Yeah.
And that was my last deal.
Right.
And then I cut the mics on.
Right.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. But, you lost a lot of PR on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Grand Prix.
Yes.
How did that work out for
I
you?
thought that was great, man. I went down there and had a great time. I'd never been to a race car event, and I'm a sports fan, but I had never seen that before, and that was a lot of fun.
Here you got it again this year, next year.
Yes, next year. And so it's great for Arlington. Look at how we're bridging out and bringing in these big events. Again, you keep bringing stuff in, keep doing something, trying something new, something different. Our entertainment district is just a thriving place. That's something that a great number of cities don't have. We get 17 million people up in here to come hang out in the entertainment district every year. That's fantastic. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, man. Our city, the city of Arlington, has an identity. My hometown of Cleveland doesn't have a same kind of identity like that. So we are privileged to have a place where that many people want to be, to come and spend their money, and we get to benefit financially from that. How do we continue to push that, right? That's an asset that we have, that we've got to figure out how to continue to support us in multiple ways and improve the quality of life for local residents. I think that's I'll take that. Also, I went to graduate school in Miami, Florida. Spring break. The city of North Miami Beach paid all their bills between March and April for the entire year because all those spring breakers came. They have an identity that they could maximize. Now, of course, there are going to be challenges with any kind of benefit that way. We've got to figure out how to maximize it, though, how to control it, minimize the challenges. But again, I think Arlington does a really good job of that, and we have that benefit of a metropolitan identity that a lot of places just don't have.
Bigger than Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And now you have the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And people hear Arlington now without thinking of Arlington Cemetery in
Right.
Virginia.
Right, for sure.
You know, so anything else you want to talk to us about?
No, I just I want to remind the voter that, remember, Dr. Shelton for Arlington, City Council early voting race. The early voting begins this coming Monday, June 1st. It goes through June the 9th. It also, Election Day is June 13th. So go out and tell your people, all right? We need Dr. Shelton for City Council in the great city of Arlington, Texas, District 8. Please go to Shelton for Arlington and learn more about me and my candidacy. Thank you for having me here today. And I'm very excited. Things are going really, really well with this campaign. And we're just going to keep the ball rolling and hoping and praying for a good W and working hard for it. I'm block walking. I was out for 3 hours this morning. I'm going out for 2 more hours this evening. I'm going to be out there all day tomorrow. I'm knocking on doors. I've been doing this for months, but you got to keep going. Keep going and work it out and put it all on the line, sir.
All right. And early voting starts when?
Early voting starts this coming Monday.
Monday.
All right, this coming Monday, June 1st.
So Monday, June 1st. That's the reason why he's here now, because
Yes, sir.
next business day, Monday, it's time to vote.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir.
all right. We appreciate you again for being on the show. We want you to come back another time, talk about this great book that we are going to make the book of the week next week. So we'll go ahead and talk about that another time, all right?
All right, sir.
Thanks again. Take care. You've been listening to the Commish Radio Show, and hey, stay tuned for more. And you know we'll be back tomorrow, but we had to go ahead and bring Dr. Jason Shelton in today before it's too late, because Monday will be here before you know it. Take care. Listening to the Commish Radio Show.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network. Hey, how you doing? This is Ed Gray of the Commish Radio Show. Stay tuned and tune in and be up to speed on everything in social justice, human rights, and politics on the Commish Radio Show, airing every Saturday, 5 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.